had been waiting for that night for a year. Marcus told her to meet him at the Skylark Hotel. He said he had a surprise, something she'd never forget. She spent hours getting ready, choosing the red dress he once said he loved. She even bought new heels, thinking tonight would be the night he'd finally propose. When she walked into the hotel restaurant, she spotted him right away, standing by the stage, smiling, holding a microphone. Her heart jumped. He looked perfect. Everything felt perfect. Until he said the words, "I want everyone to meet my fiancée, Olivia." The room erupted in applause, and just like that, Elle's heart stopped. Olivia, her sister, the one who barely called her, the one who had everything already, fame, beauty, money. Ella stood there, frozen, with a smile that wasn't real. Marcus looked at her for a moment but didn't say a word. Olivia, glowing and confident, slipped her hand into his as if nothing was wrong. Something inside Elle cracked, but she didn't cry. She walked up to them, her heels echoing across the marble floor. People started whispering. She picked up a glass of wine from the nearest table, looked Marcus right in the eye, and poured it all over him. The room went silent. She turned to Olivia and smiled. "You can have him. But don't forget, he once called your name by mistake." And before she could stop herself, she pointed toward a man sitting by the window. Tall, calm, watching her with the kind of interest that made everyone else fade away. "He won't be a problem for me anyway," she said. "My husband is already here." The man didn't move, didn't deny it, just looked at her with the faintest smile, like he knew exactly what she needed him to do. Ella left before anyone could say a word. It was raining outside. She didn't have an umbrella, so she stood under the awning, heart still racing. Then she heard footsteps. It was him, the man from the window. "You handle humiliation better than most," he said. His voice was calm, deep. She let out a short laugh. "You weren't supposed to play along. You looked like you needed someone to." She looked at him properly now. Dark hair, sharp features, a face that didn't seem to smile much. But there was something steady in his eyes. "Who are you?" she asked. "Victor?" "Well, Victor," she said, "thanks for the assist. You can forget what happened." "I don't think I will," he replied. "I don't usually get fake married in public." That made her laugh for real. "Sorry about that," he shrugged. "Don't be." "You made the night interesting?" He looked at her again, quieter this time. "You want a ride home?" She hesitated, then nodded. The car was silent for a while. The city lights blurred outside the windows. "You don't strike me as someone who lets people walk all over her," he said. "I guess I learned how to hide it," she said softly. He glanced at her. "Don't hide it anymore." She didn't know why, but those words stayed in her head long after he dropped her off. The next day, flowers arrived at her door. No note, just white lilies and a small card with one word written on it. Dinner? She didn't plan on going, but by the evening, she was in his car again. Victor didn't talk much. He didn't need to. He had that kind of presence. Calm but heavy, the kind that filled a room without saying a word. He told her about his work, his travels, little things that didn't sound real, but somehow were. He didn't ask about Marcus or Olivia. He didn't have to. He already knew. "You looked calm up there," he said. "Most people would have fallen apart." "I wanted to," she admitted, "but I didn't want to give them the satisfaction." He nodded, eyes on her. "Good. "They don't deserve to see you bleed." Something about the way he said it made her shiver. Days passed, then weeks. Victor started showing up more often, waiting outside her apartment, sending food, making sure she got home safely. It should have felt strange, maybe even wrong, but it didn't. With him, she felt seen in a way Marcus never managed. He didn't try to fix her. He didn't tell her to move on. He just stayed. Sometimes, when he looked at her, it felt like he already knew she'd never really let go of the pain, and that maybe he liked her more for it. Because Victor wasn't the type to fall in love with light. He was drawn to the cracks, the broken edges, the quiet anger underneath her calm. And Elle. She didn't realize when the line blurred, when his presence stopped being comforting and started to feel like possession. Days passed, and Elle tried to put the hotel incident behind her. She focused on herself, her work, and the small joys she'd ignored for too long. But Victor never left her thoughts. He didn't chase her or demand anything. He was patient, steady, and kind, the kind of presence that made her feel safe without taking anything from her. One evening, he asked her to meet him at a quiet little cafe, the kind where the lights were soft and the music barely hummed in the background. She was nervous, unsure of what to expect. When she walked in, he was already there, smiling, not that intense, consuming smile from before, but a gentle one that made her chest relax. He stood up when he saw her and offered her his hand. "No grand speeches," he said softly. "I just want you here. If you're willing." Elle smiled, feeling a warmth she hadn't felt in a long time. She took his hand, and for the first time in a year, she felt like everything might be okay. They spent that evening talking and laughing, slowly, like two people learning each other all over again. And when she left later, walking under the soft glow of the streetlights, she realized she wasn't afraid anymore. Victor stayed by her side, not possessive, not obsessive, just there. And Elle knew that this time, love didn't have to hurt to be real. It was steady, it was kind, it was theirs. And for the first time in a long while, she smiled without holding back, knowing that some endings could be happy after all.